We have a major Milwaukee Bucks trade update as a new report has revealed that the Bucks are actively shopping former first-round pick Beauchamp. We're going to break that down as well as discuss a new target that has been revealed for the Bucks that has Bucks fans absolutely fired up. Stay tuned for all that in this episode. But before we get into it, quick reminder to hit the subscribe button. If you're a part of the percentage that aren't subscribed to the channel, we're super close to 1,000 subscribers. And about 80% of you who are watching are not subscribed to the channel. So if you're a part of that percentage that aren't subscribed, smash that subscribe button. It would mean the world to myself if you could do that. But without further ado, let's dive into the video. And a report has dropped revealing some very interesting details for the Milwaukee Bucks, and that is surrounding Beauchamp. And we know it's a former first-round pick, but the Bucks have informed rival teams of Milwaukee's early interest in trading Beauchamp. Sources said Beauchamp, a G League Ignite product, could help the Bucks acquire a defensive-minded wing. And there is a ton of things to go over with this specific report here, and it dropped yesterday. We know that the Bucks made some moves. They now have Liam Robbins on the team. They cut Pasecnic. All these different things are going down, but lost in the middle of this was the fact that they are actively shopping Beauchamp. And there's a lot of different things to go over regarding this report, because who they're targeting next, we have some info on that. We also have some info on a brand new Bucks target, Lonnie Walker Jr. So there's a lot of things to go over, but let's just start with this. So obviously Beauchamp is very interesting. He's entering his third year in the league, and his career averages of about 5 points a game and 2 rebounds, shooting okay from the field and solid from 3. The trade interest 4 days before the Bucks tip off against the 76ers makes a lot of sense, considering that Beauchamp's fourth-year option deadline is in 11 days on October 31st, giving the receiving team enough time to evaluate whether or not they want to accept that option. And it does track with John Horst giving a non-committal answer about Beauchamp's fourth-year option back at Media Day. And Horst spoke out on Beauchamp back at Media Day and said, quote, "I'm looking for continued growth. He's put in a lot of time and he works really hard. He has many moments in the first 2 years playing with us where he's looked the part, he performed, and he helped us win. At the end of the day, we want players on our roster that are going to help our team win, and he's done that. He just has to show consistency and continue to work really hard." And when you're looking at Beauchamp, super interesting player, obviously drafted in the first round with the mid-20s pick there back in 2022. He showed some promise in his first year. When we think back now to his age 22 season, the year before last, obviously this was before the Dame time. He averaged 5 points, 2 boards, was solid at defense, kind of just was like a guy that you hope was going to take the next step the following year. They ultimately then traded for Damian Lillard, which shook things up, just shook the entire team up and the chemistry a little bit, and he regressed a little bit. His minutes got dropped. He played 4 less games, started 10 less games, and obviously in lieu of Damian Lillard coming up and just other things with the roster there. And ultimately, it's turned now to a point where they want they're in win now mode. It is no secret that the Milwaukee Bucks are in win now mode, and they're trying to win this season. If they can do that, if they can trade a guy like Beauchamp, who is kind of an interesting player to discuss, because again, he's a prospect, a former first round pick. He was drafted with the 24th pick back in the 2022 draft, like we all know. If they could get rid of him and get back, like the report said, a defensive-minded wing, or someone else we'll discuss in a minute, it could make some sense for the Bucks. So let me know your thoughts on this report. But speaking of this report, we have a lot. You can see all these screenshots here. Lonnie Walker, he was let go by the Boston Celtics, and you can see this from some Celtics fans. Lonnie Walker in Boston was ready to sacrifice his stats, always stayed after practice, earned his minutes, averaged 14, 4, and 2 on 55% shooting from the field. He did all he could, and he was released. He's no longer a part of the team, which means that the Milwaukee Bucks, if they want to, and this came just hours after the Beauchamp report, could go out and target Lonnie Walker Jr. The Milwaukee Bucks could. So Lonnie Walker to the Bucks after we trade Beauchamp and the Celtics fumble could make a lot of sense. And ultimately, what this comes down to now when you're thinking about it, I mean, Lonnie Walker, for one, I'm seeing a lot of tweets out there saying, hey, the NBA needs to expand, because at this point, the fact that, all these players that are very solid NBA players, like Lonnie Walker, he should be on an NBA team. And I think the Bucks, he would provide a lot of different things for the Bucks. You look at his stats last year with the Brooklyn Nets, he put up 9 points a game. 2022 with the Lakers, 10 points, 11 points a game. Year before with the Kings, 12. He's a very solid scorer, and he's not super efficient, but he's a very good three-point scorer. This would immediately add another option for the Milwaukee Bucks off the bench to provide some, elite level bench scoring. And again, he's not an elite player by any means. He's a solid shooter, doesn't shoot he shoots about 5 a game, which is good considering he only played 17 minutes a game last year. He is a sharpshooter. He can come off the bench, play some adequate defense. He's not a defender. And that's the one interesting point here, is that he's not going to come out and be an unreal defender. He's not going to come out and be a guy who can play great defense at any level for the Milwaukee Bucks. But what he can do is just come in and score. And when you're comparing him to Beauchamp, who's probably not going to get a ton of minutes anyway, there's really no, unless you consider Beauchamp's defense significantly better than Lonnie Walker's, which again, at this point, I don't think it's a huge issue when you're getting such an upgrade in scoring. I mean, you compare these two, and again, scoring, it's not like Beauchamp is some elite perimeter defender, an elite defender at all. He's an okay wing defender. Now, Lonnie Walker, he's an okay, bit below average, 2-guard defender. But what that means is that he can go out, he can score. He doesn't turn over the ball a lot. He's great off the ball. And again, they kind of already got Gary Trent Jr. They got guys like Taurean Prince. So, I mean, they got Taurean Prince who plays small forward. They got Gary Trent Jr. If you can bring in a guy like Lonnie Walker, and I'm seeing Bucks fans be hyped up. And when you're looking at the bench now, if you have a bench of Lonnie Walker, DeLon Wright, Bobby Portis, all of these guys, it becomes very, very interesting now. And again, they're not going to play like a 5-man bench unit. It's not going to be like the bench mob of, a lot of different teams. The Toronto Raptors way back in 2016 where they had like DeLon Wright a part of the bench mob. But what it could be is just a bench that can help when Giannis is in foul trouble, when Dame's in foul trouble, when Brook Lopez is in foul trouble, or when they're tired, things like that. They can go out there and they can just provide some extra length to the bench, and that's what Lonnie Walker would do. And I saw fans hyped up about this, and I'm very curious to see what you all think about it in the comment section down below, because personally, especially given the fact that Beauchamp hasn't shown too much upside. Obviously, Beauchamp is younger than Lonnie Walker, but not by very much. Beauchamp is 24 years old. Lonnie Walker is 25 years old, and Beauchamp just turned literally a week ago, 8 days ago, he turned 24 years old. So about a year and a half to 2 years difference between these two guys, but I mean, Lonnie Walker is a bucket getter. He's a verified bucket getter. He can go out, he can score buckets. And the fact that he was, let go by the Celtics is kind of crazy in itself, considering that, I mean, the Celtics already have a very crazy team. Some consider it a super team. I think the Bucks can go head-to-head with the with the Boston Celtics this year. And if they can grab Lonnie Walker and trade Beauchamp for, whether it's a pick, whether it's another depth piece, maybe picks to set themselves up for a better trade deadline deal. Again, the biggest piece they own right now is their 2031 first-round pick, because who knows how good the Bucks are going to be then. So that would obviously be very interesting for a lot of teams out there. But at the end of the day, if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, get on the phone, start calling, because Lonnie Walker would be a phenomenal fit. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on that. And one other thing before we wrap up, Doc Rivers spoke on Liam Robbins, of course, the guy they decided to sign to a 2-way deal and they let go of Pasecnic. He said he's been great. He's been really good. He had a stretch day in practice that was unbelievable, but he's physical. That's what I like. He's a natural instigator. I always laugh when Liam comes into the game. There's going to be an incident. He doesn't even, all these things. Ultimately, just want to touch on this quickly. I'm super pumped up about Liam Robbins. I'm super pumped up about what he can do for the team, and I'm super excited to see what the Milwaukee Bucks have in a lot of these guys, whether it is, whether it's going to be Lonnie Walker, whether it's Liam Robbins or anyone else. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on all this. A ton of interesting news is going down. So let me know, and make sure to smash the subscribe button. We're on the road to 1,000. See you soon.